dropped a handout for each of you. Did everybody have anything? Robert found 174 Lawrence Street. I did some research for the city recently in the last 3 or 4 weeks, actually since about the 10th of December. The city offices and Blue Cross were nice enough to give me some numbers that I needed in doing this, and what I'd like to report is, by making an administrative change, and I'm going to read for the people in the back that don't have this, by making an administrative change only, the city can realize the savings on its non-Medicare groups. These are the active employees that are under most of the groups now: fire, police, teamsters, and so on, office people. The city can save $321,216, and I give a breakdown with the groups. I'm not going to repeat them all, but the breakdown of each group is there based on the methods that I would use and the carriers and the providers that I would use. This does not involve changing carriers. Blue Cross is still the company of record, or guys. It doesn't involve any changes to each employee. Employees still have the same benefits they had before. It's just an administrative change that our office would gladly do for the city. If my research goes any further, I did include a copy of a non-compete agreement that I'd like to have in place before I go any further, so I included one for everyone to see. All liabilities over and above the current employee benefits will be insured against and paid for by the city, and that still realizes the savings of the $321,000. So this doesn't increase any liabilities to the city more than they have now. The only requirement is the insured employees would have to furnish an explanation of benefits, which is you've all seen them, this is not a bill. They would have to manually furnish that to our office, and we would do the administration for this. That's the only requirement. So if all employees realize that they can actually help the city to save over $300,000 and possibly save quite a few jobs, they wouldn't mind, I would hope they wouldn't mind sending in a few forms each month as they get a claim or as they have services done at their local Blue Cross provider. And any data on additional savings will be presented at a future council meeting. There is additional savings that can be realized from the balances of all the groups that are out there that the city does insure. So I'm here to make that report. I'd like to submit it respectfully, and if the city would like me to pursue this any further, I would be glad to do that for them. Are there any questions?
Yeah,
Yes.
specifically, can you tell us how you come about getting the savings? Because it's the same coverage, liability, and so forth. What method did you use to come up with this?
That's the big question. Meaning no disrespect, I would rather wait until I have some agreement, like a non-compete agreement in place, before I go any further. This method I didn't invent this method. It's using different plans that your own carrier has, that Blue Cross and Geisinger have, but it's placing them in a way that's more favorable to the client, and using the discounts that each carrier has. Also using other providers that will insure against that liability. I believe when the mayor mentioned to me last month when I was here, you're not in a position to take on any extra liability for self-insuring. That liability doesn't exist here because it's insured against.
So it would not increase the deductibles for the employees?
No, it wouldn't increase the deductibles for the employees. No. Co-pays and everything would remain the same. This is what I'm doing for all the clients that we have now. The employees' co-pays, deductibles, co-insurances all remain the same. It's just administrated a little bit differently.
So same quality of healthcare?
Yes, same carriers, same plan. All the plans that are in force would be still active. They still would be the way they are. No change of doctors, no change of hospitals. Everything would be as it is. It would be just a little bit of work to do, and this is what I'm willing to do.
Thank you.
What is the non-Medicare group? Why isn't that included?
I don't have the figures yet from Highmark, Blue Shield, Freedom Blue, and I don't have the final figures from Geisinger for their Medicare plans. I'm working on something with prescriptions that I'm waiting for numbers for, so I don't have those to give you today. Possibly at the next meeting or possibly next month.
And what happens if, say I got that form from the benefit form and I accidentally throw it away? What happens to my claim then? That I didn't give back to you?
Well, that, you have to send the form in to us.
What happens if they don't? Because, you know, a lot
Well,
of
then,
people,
then you would get a bill for that service, and then the bill would go into our office, and then we would request you get a copy of that explanation of benefits that you lost. That's very easy to recover. Mhm.
And what's involved in that explanation of benefits form? Is that a big complicated thing or just something that's?
No, it's just something that everybody gets all the time. I think all of you
every
get
time you
copies
get
of
a
it.
copy, you get one, yeah.
All right, so it's the form that we now see.
It's not anything out of the ordinary, and it just keeps track of what the providers are to get paid. And who's responsible for making that payment. Mhm.
Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. We're going to take a little time to review this and appreciate it.
Thank you.